Good morning, traders. Sure, you had a blissful weekend, and I hope you're prepared for a profitable trading week. I took a sell trade on Australian dollar USD this morning, and I want to share with you the reason why I executed a sell trade on Australian dollar USD. Now, you would see that I've done my analysis. That was, I think, on Friday or Saturday. I've already plotted I've identified my entry levels for sell and entry levels for buy. Now, this is my entry level for buy. This is my supply zone. If the market trades above this zone, I would consider buying Australian dollar USD, and if the market is trading below this zone, which is a demand zone, I would consider selling Australian dollar USD. So what happened this morning? There was a gap. The market opened far below my entry level. It opened far below my entry level. So I had to wait for a pullback. Before executing a sell trade. So what happened here? We had a pullback at this point. From this point to this point, price pulled back, and at this point we had what we call a doji candlestick, and a doji candlestick indicates that the trend is about to change from bullish to bearish. So at this point, I executed a sell trade after the close of this doji candle. Now, it's not just a doji candle. If you look at it at this point, what played out here, we had a supply level here, or you call it a resistance level at this point. And at this point, this candle tested that supply level, and there was a strong rejection from that level. You can see that there was a strong rejection from that level, which indicates that we have sellers in the market. So I took a sell trade at this point, and I set my stop loss 30 pips above that level, because there's possibility that the trend will go in the opposite direction. Trading is a game of probability. There is no guarantee that the market will go in my direction. Okay, so I set my stop loss in case the market goes in the opposite direction. I want to take my loss at this price. Okay, so my risk was 30 pips, and my first TP is 50 pips. My second TP is 70 pips. Okay, so now the market is moving in my direction. So what I've done here is to reduce my risk on the trade. Like I said, the initial risk was 30 pips. Now I've reduced my risk to 25 pips because I've made some profit on this trade. So what I did was to reduce my risk on this trade, hoping that the market will break this demand zone. You can see this is my second entry for sell. This is a demand zone. If a candlestick closes below this level, then there's a high probability that price will keep falling to this next demand zone, or you could call it your support zone. Okay, so I'm hoping that it will break this level. It will break this level, and there's a high probability it will hit my first TP. So if it hits my first TP, I would hope that it gets to the second TP. So what I would do when the market gets to my first TP, I would definitely adjust my stop loss to my entry level. I would adjust my stop loss to entry level. So if price decides to pull back, I wouldn't lose on that trade. Okay, so trading goes beyond just executing buy and sell. How you manage the trade will determine how profitable that trade will be. It's very important that you have your trade management plan before you execute the trade. Okay, so I'm hoping that it gets to my first TP and second TP, but if it doesn't get there, I would ensure that my risk on this trade is minimized. So if you want to be a consistently profitable trader, that is how you should trade. When you make profit on a trade, you should think of how to reduce your risk on that trade. Okay, so Australian dollar USD is bearish, and I'm also looking at New Zealand USD. Since both pairs are positively correlated, there's a high probability New Zealand USD would also sell, and GBP USD, there's a high probability that it will sell. But long-term perspective, Euro USD, GBP USD, Australian dollar USD, and New Zealand USD is bullish. Long-term perspective, it is bullish. So if you're selling, you know you're trading against the trend. That's why it's very important that you manage the trade properly. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.